They called him Lucky, but his rise to power had little to do with luck and everything to do with vision, ruthlessness, and a plan that would forever change organized crime in America. Charles Lucky Luciano was born Salvatore Lucania in 1897 in Sicily, and like many immigrants of his time, he arrived in New York with nothing but ambition. In the crowded streets of the Lower East Side, survival meant adapting quickly, and Luciano did more than adapt. He learned how to rule. By his teens, he was running small gangs, controlling street corners, and charging neighborhood kids for protection on their way to school. But Luciano's mind worked differently from most street thugs. He saw beyond petty crime. He understood that the future belonged to those who could organize chaos, unite rival gangs, and turn the underworld into a functioning business. In the Prohibition era, when alcohol was illegal and fortunes were made smuggling it, Luciano allied himself with powerful figures like Arnold Rothstein, the legendary gambler and bootlegger who became his mentor. Rothstein taught him the art of negotiation, the importance of connections, and the secret that violence alone never built empires. Money and influence did. By the late 1920s, Luciano was a rising force inside the Italian-American Mafia, but the old system held him back. At the time, the Sicilian bosses, known as the Mustache Petes, refused to work with outsiders, clung to old traditions, and rejected cooperation with Jewish and Irish gangs. Luciano saw this as a weakness. In his mind, the Mafia had to evolve, or it would collapse under its own stubbornness. He made his move during the bloody Castellammarese War, a 2-year conflict between rival Mafia factions for control of New York. Luciano played both sides, quietly making alliances with younger, forward-thinking mobsters, including Meyer Lansky and Bugsy Siegel. And when the time was right, he ended the war with a bold and brutal stroke: the assassination of his own boss, Giuseppe "Joe the Boss" Mafia, in 1931. With Mafia gone, Luciano didn't waste time. He betrayed the rival boss Salvatore Maranzano just months later, eliminating him in a well-coordinated hit. The old guard was gone, and Luciano stood at the top. Now, free from the traditions of Sicily, Luciano built something new: the Commission. It was a governing body of Mafia families, designed to prevent wars, settle disputes, and ensure that profits flowed smoothly. Under his system, the Mafia stopped being just a network of street gangs and became a nationwide corporation with rules, structure, and shared power. Luciano didn't care about ethnicity. If you could make money, you were welcome. He partnered with Jewish mobsters like Lansky and Siegel, Irish criminals, and anyone else who could bring in business. He expanded the Mafia's reach into gambling, labor unions, narcotics, and prostitution, turning organized crime into a multi-million-dollar machine. His reign was not without enemies, and in 1936, Special Prosecutor Thomas E. Dewey struck hard, convicting Luciano on charges of running a massive prostitution ring. Luciano always denied the charges, claiming it was a political move to break his power, but he was sentenced to 30 to 50 years in prison. Even behind bars, Luciano's influence remained. During World War II, he struck a secret deal with the U.S. government, using his Mafia contacts to protect New York's docks from Axis sabotage and to assist in the Allied invasion of Sicily. In exchange, his sentence was reduced, and in 1946, he was deported back to Italy. From there, Luciano continued to operate in the shadows, organizing the global heroin trade and maintaining control over parts of the American Mafia from thousands of miles away. Until his death in 1962, he remained one of the most respected and feared figures in organized crime history. Lucky Luciano didn't just lead the Mafia. He reinvented it, transforming a loose collection of street gangs into an empire that could survive for generations. His story is proof that in the criminal underworld, vision and strategy can be just as deadly as a gun. Like and subscribe if you want to hear more true stories about the men who built and ruled the Mafia.